Welcome back. This is another iPod video. This one is a battery test. I'm going to test the difference between the 3000 milliamp battery and the 3800 milliamp battery and find the differences and, provide some feedback and recommendations on which one you should buy. Okay, I'm just gonna dive straight into it. This is gonna be a short video. The configuration. This is my iPod video 5.5. I know I called it the iPod Classic in my first video. No, this is actually called the iPod video because it's the 5th generation, 5.5 generation. Anyway, it's got the 64 megabyte motherboard from the 80 gig version. There's also the 32 gig version. I'm using the 64. Now, inside it is an iFlash quad with two 256 gigabyte micro SD cards. They're Samsung Evo Pro, whatever they're called. Inside this iPod is 11,613 songs. They're all 16-bit, 320 kbps MP3 files. That's the configuration. Now, the testing parameters. Since I only have one working iPod, I just swapped the batteries, and both times were charged until the screen said charged. That's the most scientific way that I can do it. So, yeah. So, and for both tests, they were on shuffle all. So I hit shuffle on, and then I start the timer. Now, I set the screen to always on for recording purposes, because then you wouldn't be able to see when it died. Obviously, when you're actually using it, you're not gonna have the screen on all the time, so the results may vary. So this is the time lapse. I'm just gonna talk over it. So both the 3000 and 3800 milliamp batteries stopped playing after 24 hours. One stopped at like 24 hours and 17 minutes, one after 24 hours and 9 minutes. Obviously, the capacity is different, or we're getting scammed, so which leads me to believe it's a software limitation. I've looked around on the internet. There are some posts on Reddit and other forums saying that you have to reset the iPod, or go through a number of charge cycles for the software to learn the correct battery capacity, for it to, give you an accurate estimate or display the accurate actual battery capacity. So wrapping things up, I think 3800 milliamps is a little overkill. I'm just sticking with the 3000 milliamp battery. Obviously, this is not the most accurate and scientific test, which doesn't yield the most accurate and scientific results. So take my test with a grain of salt. DankPod tested a 3000 milliamp battery on a 6th or 7th gen. It got 43 hours and 21 minutes. So it may be the software issue. Maybe, I have to reset the iPod, like I said earlier. I don't know. And let me just talk about the batteries real quick. The 3000 milliamp battery is on eBay. I got it on eBay for this much. And the 3800 milliamp, which I also got on eBay, is this much. As you can see, the price difference are insignificant. So, so mainly it comes down to fitment. The 3000 milliamp battery, it's just a tiny, tiny bit thinner. It's immeasurable to the naked eye. Than the 3800 milliamp. Also the 3000, it's the thick version of the 3000 milliamp, which EOE actually pointed out in one of my videos. Thank you very much. And then the 3800 milliamp is very, very similar. It's slightly bigger in size, in the dimensions. So if you're putting a lot of stuff in your iPod, if you have a lot of mods, maybe go with the lesser one. Now, which one should you buy? Like I said earlier, I think 3000 milliamp is more than enough. I highly doubt you're gonna listen to music for 24 hours straight, unless you're running like a convenience store or like a store that you're playing music with your iPod. But then I would just plug it in, right? I don't ever see a scenario where you're listening to music 24 hours straight. Maybe you're on deployment, you're on a mission, but why would you? I don't know. I don't know. I just don't think how usable that would be. You can plug it in to charge it if you have a battery. I mean, I guess if you're going camping for like a week, maybe. But for normal use cases, for normal people, I think 3800 or even the lesser ones, like 2800, would be more than enough for most people. Those are my thoughts. These are the results. I hope it helped. That's about it.